Hello and welcome to British English with me, Alexandre. Uh, I'd like to say for those who are watching this video, I'm Brazilian. Most of you must already know that. And in this video, I try to speak only in English so that you learners, English students all over the world can understand it. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about another article from bbc.com/news. And it's a very updated video. We're talking today about Houthi Red Sea attacks. Group claims to have hit U.S. container ship. This article has been published 2 hours ago. It's about Israel-Gaza war. But we, before we go any further, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel, share it with all your friends, English learners who want to improve their English. This, this type of exercise has been really helpful for me. It was the only way possible where I could improve my vocabulary over thousands of words. I've just found out that by reading out loud, when your brain listens to the sounds of the words, it's much difficult to forget the word. Because if you only read the word, you don't have an idea of its sound. So you've got to read out loud, and that way, through correct pronunciation, of course, at least in my video where I try to speak the modern RP British pronunciation. In my case, it's proven to be a really effective way to learn all about pronunciation, connected speech, and elision, alliteration, and stuff like that. So please subscribe to the channel, and without any further ado, let's do the reading. Let's to the reading of that news article about the war in Yemen. This article has been written by Patrick Jackson for BBC News. Okay, so let's go through the text. The Houthi movement in Yemen says it has struck a U.S. merchant ship, it named as Koi, in the Red Sea, in a fresh attack targeting commercial shipping. But two maritime sources told the BBC Verify that the Houthi claim was fake. US and UK authorities are yet to say whether an attack took place. Security firm Umbre said a ship located south of Yemen reported a blast on its starboard but did not name it. Meanwhile, the US launched new air strikes in Yemen. 10 drones reportedly being set up to launch were targeted in the strike. According to Reuters news agency, the Koi is a Liberian-flagged container ship operated by UK-based Oceanic Services. The same company's fleet includes oil tanker Marlin Luanda, which was damaged by a missile on Saturday. The Houthis regard all Israeli, US and British ships as legitimate targets following Israel's war on Hamas in Gaza, and US and British targeting of Houthi missile positions in what the two countries say are efforts to protect commerce. Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sarriya said on Wednesday that the movement's armed forces had attacked an American merchant ship named Koi with several appropriate naval missiles. The ship, he said, had been heading to the ports of occupied Palestine, a phrase which is sometimes used to mean Israel. However, industry publication Trade Winds said that the claim was fake and that in fact a sick crew member had been taken off the ship in a medical evacuation. Two maritime security sources supported this assessment. There has also been no word from UK Maritime Trade Operations, UKMTO, which normally sends alerts when such attacks are carried out. But Mr. Saria reiterated that the Houthis would not hesitate to retaliate against British-American escalation. All American and British ships in the Red Sea and Arabian Seas are legitimate targets for the Yemeni armed forces as long as the American-British aggression against our country continues, the Houthi spokesman said. U.S. Central Command said the 10 drones being prepared for launch in Yemen had posed a threat to merchant vessels and U.S. warships in the region. All 10 were destroyed along with the Houthi drone ground control station, it said. The U.S. added that one of its warships had shot down 3 Iranian drones and a Houthi anti-ship ballistic missile in the Gulf of Aden. Houthi attacks on shipping in the Red Sea have slowed down international trade, raising fears of supply bottlenecks. On the 7th of October, hundreds of Palestinian gunmen from Gaza infiltrated southern Israel, where they killed around 1,300 people, mostly civilians, and took 250 others hostage. Israel responded by launching a military campaign in Gaza, during which more than 26,900 people, most of them women and children, have been killed, according to the health ministry there, which is controlled by the Hamas group. What moment British warship HMS Diamond shoots down Houthi drone in Red Sea. This is a short video. Okay, we've just finished the reading of that headline. It's a sad event, of course, that's happening in Yemen, but as all of us know, the world is not a safe place, and wars are happening in many parts of the world. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that reading. I hope you've learned something, how English, how the pronunciation helps to our reading and improve at the same time our understanding. And because when you read out loud, you're understanding, you're learning words inside a context. So you should not, for example, study word by word without context or in phrases, for example. But when you learn words inside a context, a story, it has proven to be really effective. It's hard not to remember the words because it's related to a fact that is happening now. It's a real fact. This article has been published by our BBC News, and here we have good, nice, proper English. So it's an excellent way to understand. Some people say that this is advanced English. I don't see it like that. But you've got to understand, you've got to learn how, you've got to read those articles. So you should understand, you should read it out loud and improve your vocabulary. Please subscribe to the channel, share the content, um, and that's it for today. Thank you so much. Cheers.